Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Sorry that it's been a little while between the Euros and then Scott being on holiday and me being a little bit ill last week. It's been difficult to find time to play and get videos recorded, but we're back to normal now, so there should be regular content coming your way. Today we're going to go straight into the start of the second season with Sporting. Done all of this mammoth pre-season that you might have seen on social media, and we did pick up at the very start, I think, in the last episode. Season's not starting until October because of the effect that the pandemic's had on the dates and stuff. So we've had loads of friendlies. There's lots to get through. So see you in a second. Right, guys, here we are. I think last episode out, we had this sort of really boring, very typical first pre-season friendly out, didn't we? So there wasn't much to see there. Since then, you can see we've played a lot of friendlies. There's been a lot of signings, a lot to figure out. I still don't think I'm 100% sure on the best side and everything, but we're getting closer. As you can see, in the main, we did pretty well. Some notable results. Let's see. So beating Hereford was good. We only lost 1-0 to Bolton with a really late goal. It was another decent result. Alfchurch, who obviously we've just come from that league, so it was nice to still get a strong result there. This is probably the best one though, picking up a win, and it was a deserved win as well against Hearts in front of just over 3,000 at the Victoria Ground. A great result. So that was really positive. This one in this sort of really good patch. We had a little cheeky one against Woodthorpe Park Rangers. If you've not seen it, the other series on the channel. With Scott, this is who he's managing in. Obviously, in my save, they're just another amateur team, so it was no surprise that we got the result. But it was nice to just have their name appear up on my save. I know Scott's done the same at the start of last season with Bromsgrove. We're a little bit unlucky to Coventry, and Solihull Moors weren't disgraced or anything at all. It was just a little bit of extra quality, and to be fair, we didn't play a sort of full side in both. It was really trying to get as many players as possible up to match fitness. So, and then we finished off with a 2-0 win against sort of a lower team in Lichfield. Now, as you might have seen on Twitter earlier, I've had a little bit of a mare today. I have already recorded a video, and it was supposed to be the first game of the season, which, because of how these new dates are working this year, was a massive one in the FA Cup, which obviously I've mentioned before. I'd really like to get a good run. And the club needs it financially as well. We need to get a good run. So it was a really sort of high pressure game to go into. And I did stream that, and it was a really good result as well. So it's a real shame that I'd recorded and there was no audio. I don't know if it was my fault. The mic hadn't activated on the streaming software. Whatever. Can't be helped now. So the win was the main thing. And what we're going to do today, we're going to go into the first league game against Gateshead. But before that, a few little bits from last season that I wanted to show you for those interested. I just always like to keep an eye on attendance records. So I mean, we've already beaten last year's highest attendance at 593, and the average was only 266. It's a shame because in real life, I've mentioned this before, the following is probably 3 or 4 times that in average. But obviously on the game, that sort of level of like club scouting isn't really there beneath the initial playable league. So hopefully one day we get into the Conference North and that's reflected, because it helped financially as well. But there we are. The other thing, not to depress anyone, because I'm not really over it myself with England's sort of heartbreak in the Euros, but I thought I'd have a little look and see how they got on. What am I looking at? But yeah, here we go. How they got on. Belgium were the winners, beating Portugal after a 0-0 on penalties at Wembley in the final. Which, to be fair, I think if something like that would happen in real life before the Euros, I don't think anyone would have been too surprised. England did get to the semi-finals and obviously have narrowly lost out to Portugal there. So they did okay in the game as well. Anyway, I won't dwell on that. It's making me sad. Right, finances. Obviously we are in the red because we're always going to be in the red, but we had that good run of friendlies against some decent teams. Hard to get a real money spinner at this level, but it was a few hundred here, a couple of grand there, which was hopefully just staved off. This could be a lot worse, so hopefully it just gives us another month or two before it gets really bad. Much bigger budget this year, and we have gone over a little bit, which is a little bit annoying, but I felt it necessary for some of the players we're bringing. We've got a much bigger squad. I've kept some of the players around that were on non-contracts as sort of backup, because why not? And I think, to be honest, as the season goes and we find the players that aren't performing as we're hoping they are, we might trim it down a little bit and try and get back within that, because it is in our sort of objectives that we need to work within the wage budget and repair the financial damage. That's not really in our control, the second one, but we need to try and do well, and that's even more reason why we need to have a run in the cups. Whilst we're on this page, you can see that the expectations are pretty low. Fight bravely against relegation and be competitive. So whatever we do is going to please the board, which leaves us in a decent position, because I've got higher hopes than this. I think we can do better. They've added a couple of sort of style type ones, defensively solid, direct and counter-attacking. I don't have a huge problem with that. That seems fine to me. I think it probably buys into the sort of football we're going to play. Hopefully the game translates what we're trying to do as that, but as long as we're getting results, I don't think it'll be too much of an issue. Now, that's the wrong page. Transfers. There's been, as you can imagine, quite a lot. It's been a bit of a squad overhaul. I think we went through all of these ones last time. We did speak about Wealth de Silva, John Black and the goalkeeper yet. So where did we pick up? We spoke about Aaron Haswell and Edson Prata from Harrogate last time. Jared Welch, I think we did. Essentially, he's an all-rounder, but he's more for the ball winning, good tackling, good aggression, etc. Otherwise, he's average all over. So that's a good guy to have in. Keaton Wood, I think really is apart from there's a couple of little niggles like anticipation. His strength's not great for someone who's 6'2". You'd want it to be a bit more, but marking, tackling, pace, concentration, positioning is all pretty good. So happy to have him in, and he's forming a good link with Luke Ward already at centre back. Charlie Horton, we've always had a problem at full back for depth either side. He's not very good at football, but he can tackle and he's athletic, really quick for this level. 15s I think are pretty good. So he's just a little bit of I suppose we're paying him a decent amount of money, but he's athletic, so he'll do a job on either side. I don't need him to be Alexander Arnold or something like that. He needs to be able to run, and that's fine by me. Adam Hughes was a really good one. Really happy with this from TNS. You can see his stats. He definitely looks like more of a centre half. It's heading, it's tackling, it's strength, it's jumping reach. 6'2", big guy, but found he can play on the left and it is as no nonsense. I don't expect him to be getting forward. He can't kick the ball anywhere. But the tactics that we're using, we'll see in a minute. Using him there as that almost forms a bit of a back three when we're on the front foot and we're going forward, and that allows a bit of solidity on that side. So that adds a little bit of versatility to us. Ollie Mulders was one that we did have to pay a good sort of the maximum we could really. But for these sorts of passing stats at this level, 13 passing, 12 tackling, 11 first touch, and pretty athletic as well, I think it was worth it, because I think he's a really good player to have in the middle. He can do all sorts of things. He's a good sort of all-round centre midfielder, but as more of a creator and someone to keep things ticking over, I think he'll do a good job for us. Harvey Sparks was a bit of a value transfer really. He's not particularly wonderful, looks sort of 8s for everything really, but he can play absolutely blooming everywhere, and I'm not paying him any wages, so he's a pure, John O'Shea. In you come, he'll fill in any gaps, and it saves us having, if we do have players leave or we have to move them on or finances get worse, having someone like him around that can fill in anywhere, it's going to be really useful. Will Callaghan was one of the other sort of top signings along with Mulders. Down the left side, nice and quick, good passer of the ball, good technique. His crossing could be better, but a decent amount of flair. And this was a point actually I think we went last time with Edson Prata, Wealth de Silva. I think Ollie Mulders has got a lot more flair this year. So hopefully we can sort of let the forward guys go a little bit and let them create. As long as we can have a good platform for them to build on defensively. So pleased to get him in. And last but definitely not least, this was a bit of a late one. I had him on the shortlist for quite a while. and I didn't know if I was going to be able to bring him in and Callaghan and the others. But in the end, after sort of trialling him, I think I had to bring him in, and obviously he wasn't on a lot of money at all. He's a Ghanaian youngster, he's only 17. I was expecting him to be like an academy, someone from up much higher that they'd released, but he's played at Glossop and played a good amount of games, played okay. But I just think for a 17-year-old, 13 technique, 11 first touch, he's even got the 12 long shots, which for a winger is not really relevant, but he can play centrally. And some of these little stats here can improve as well. So and he's been really good for us so far in the friendlies, 7.23 average, 7 goals in 5 appearances. He started really well, so I'm glad that I made the decision to pull the trigger on him to come in. So we've got a lot of attacking talent now, a lot more than we did before. We've got options. And I feel pretty good. I don't think there's really any positions that we're struggling with for depth or for being able to change things a little bit. We've got a lot of versatile players. I need a backup goalkeeper because that we don't have one, so it's going to be a bit dicey if Stricovic gets an injury. But it's going to have to be someone cheap. I've been trying the loan markets, just not seeing much joy. I know that's sometimes the best way to go with, especially a little bit lower down. But I think when you're this low, it can be difficult to get anyone of any quality that wants to come to you or that the clubs want to send to you. So, but we'll crack on with this. If we can trim the wage budget a little bit, bring in a backup goalkeeper, I'm pretty happy. I think we've got a good squad, and there's a lot of youth in here as well. There's no one, I don't think, over the age of 30. No, 28 for Landell, who was with us anyway, and that's the oldest player. So we've got a really young squad that hopefully we can improve, get a little bit of value. I'm not expecting a superstar to come and make us a load of money, but just something to build on. Hopefully we won't need wholesale changes every season now. So yeah, brilliant. The game against North Shields, we played really well. They had a decent amount of the ball, but never really threatened. We defended really, really strongly, and then we were just ruthless. I think both of the goals eventually came from set pieces, indirectly, once they were cleared, but we'll talk through the tactic now. It looks a bit unbalanced, and I did think this when I sort of first put it together. I always try and get a balance between the roles. And originally Mulders was on attack as well, so it only left Eswelly on support, and I've changed that around because I just couldn't bring it to be that unbalanced. But essentially I just want sustained pressure, I want numbers, so I want the ball forward quickly, which I still want to play direct, I still want to play a high tempo, I still want that ball forward quickly. Hopefully we've got the players with the creativity and the ability to make that a little bit more focused in terms of how we get the ball forward. And then I want to keep it there and just keep attacking until we break them down. And the same thing when the ball breaks down, plenty of players back. So you can see we've got Hughes here on the no-nonsense sort of full-back. I don't really want him attacking too much. Callaghan's got the run of that left side. Mulders is here as well. Cowley's in the left channel. And the right side, we can attack a little bit more. Eswelly likes to get forward. We've got De Silva. I don't mind them both being sort of wing back because we've got this space here that De Silva and Lake can move into. And then Wells can help to shore things up. That's the idea. It's done okay in the friendlies, to be fair. And then secondary, it's pretty similar. I still want the directness. This is just a little bit more controlled. I'm not sure about it yet. It's done okay. It's losing this. It's losing this link with Leighton Cowley, which is the thing that I know works from last season that I'm reluctant to lose. So it might be that a third one happens. But this was more. We could bring Haswell in as a target man, control things in the midfield and be a little bit more patient with this one. So that may be one to use away from home or for the last sort of 10 minutes if we're leading, something like that. But this is what we're going to go with today. It's exactly the same team that just beat North Shields. It's only been 2 days, I think, since we played them, but we're early in the season. Everyone needs the match sharpness anyway. And you can see the links. These two, obviously, from last season, and Wood and Ward have already started to form this from playing pre-season, which is really pleasing. So I think for now, this is the best team. We have obviously got Rashid, Edson Prater when he's injured at the moment. I think are going to be the sort of main subs. Will Shorrock as well is looking good. So there are changes we can make, but I think for now this is the one. We're away at Gateshead. To be fair, actually, I'm not sure what the sort of standings are in terms of season preview. Let's see, we'll be bottom, won't we? No, we're not bottom, to be fair. We're 20th out of 22nd, so that's nice, isn't it? We're not bottom. But Gateshead, I was going to say, I think Gateshead are a decent side. They're second favourites. So this is going to be a tough one. We're away from home, so I was going to go with the slightly more reserved tactic, but I just thought, no, this suits our best players. We've got Cowley, we've got Late. Let's see how we go, and we can change it around after. Anyway, I've rambled on for ages there. I'm sorry, guys. It's, I think, the nature of the first one back after a pre-season. Let's get into the game now and hopefully get off to a good start in the league. Rightio then, guys, here we go. I forgot about this 5 subs malarkey. That always really annoys me in these leagues. I mean, we need to get to League 2 just to get the 7 subs back. I think we just need to give a good performance here. I don't know what to expect. It's always difficult when you get promoted. You always sort of have to be prepared for a tough season, but you never know. So, let's see. Obviously, this is just going to be the kickoff highlight. I would have thought. Strichovic gets it forward. Late wins the header. De Silva stands it up and he's fouled there. Can we do something from a deep free kick? Oh, clearly not. It definitely was the kickoff highlight. Very silly. We've started with the ball anyway. Throwing into Late. Back to Eswele. Finds Mulders in a bit of space. Pops it over the top to De Silva. Can he deliver? He can. Towards Cowley. Back across. Just over the bar. They've got a decent stadium, haven't they? Jeez. 2 tiers. They obviously don't fill it, do they? No, this is the worry, isn't it? When they get the ball. Whipped a deep cross in. It's gone all the way through. Lowe's going to pick it up for them. Cross comes in. Header down. Oh, there we go. I said we have to be prepared for it to be tough. I was hoping it wouldn't be that early. I think this is quite poor here. Being able to head it down there. I mean, that's Wood and Ward there that both really have lost their men. The first header for the knockdown and then a finish as well. So that's a little bit annoying. But it's a really tough first game to be away from home against, you know, one of the top teams or expected top teams in the division. And despite all the friendlies, it's still difficult, I think, to get a grasp on the level you're playing at. I've tried to play a good range of lower and higher and sort of similar level sides, but it's never quite the true indication. So, but let's see how things go. We threatened early on, so I'm fine with that if they want to keep pumping balls to my defence. Ward pops it up, so there's no focus. So that's just giving the ball away, but that's okay as well. Popping it around well up to Cowley's feet, who takes it really well, dances in between 1 or 2. He just needed to be a bit more patient there and I think wait for support. Credit the play, but those sorts of opportunities aren't going to be regular occurrences, I don't think. Here's Welch though, playing it around well when we get it. Here's Cowley, and that's a great shot from Callaghan. He took it early and it looked like it was goal bound, to be fair, but it didn't seem to trouble the keeper. But you know, we've had 6 shots. I mean, none of them have been on target, and but when we get the ball into this area, we do seem to be popping it around well. So something's working. The front guys allowing them to play, I think is the right thing to do. And defensively, we've been good in the friendlies as well. We do sometimes invite a little bit of pressure, but we stand strong and then we break. So I'm happy with that. The game's pretty even. Looking at it, there's been a couple of highlights. They've only had the one, in fairness, and they've scored from it. So it's not terrible. It's not terrible. We perhaps haven't done a good enough job of getting people. The whole point is to have numbers forward, and when we've got forward, it's been a little bit isolated. So I wonder if I haven't seen enough from them to know what's going on. Let's leave it for now. Let's give it 10 minutes at the start of the half. Let's see what happens, because we've done okay. We've done okay. They've popped the ball forward like that a few times. They've got it this time on a second ball though. They shouldn't have really. Here's Lowe. Created the first. Arthur with the deep cross, headed away well. This whole move has started from us. We've cleared the initial ball, should have picked up the second, and the loose touch has let it run through. So we need to just sharpen up on that. I think we can't keep inviting pressure. We have to get out and get forward before it gets worse. That's well blocked, and now can we break? Men bursting forward. This is good. We've got the overload now. Spread out, boys. Come on, give the options. Here's Late. Gets round his man into the box. Chris Late! Oh, it's a great effort. Wonderful save. Cowley tries to get it back in, but I think he's off. Oh, I think we could have done better with that. Everyone was a little bit narrow. Needed to spread it. It gave Late a little bit of work to do against the angle, but it's a good break. We have got something. This is there for us. Callaghan into De Silva. Takes a great touch. Surely we'll score. He does. Wells De Silva gets his second of the season. He got one against North Shields in the FA Cup. I'm very intensely excited now. But I'm so glad we've been able to just grow back into the game. That's a good competitive win from Hughes. He's great in the air. De Silva rode the challenge. Kept his cool. Smashed it in at the near post. Brilliant. Really happy with Hughes there. He's a big lad, 6'2". He's probably our best player in the area. I've tried to use him as the sort of target man from set pieces, corners, things like that. So, really pleased with that. And actually, we've had a little bit more possession, but we've got to be careful here because they are going to be more. I would expect teams to be ruthless at this level. The top teams in the division, they're not going to need too many invitations. We'll probably have to make some changes shortly. But here's De Silva again in space to run. He's beat his man again. De Silva chops it by himself. He just couldn't get the bend. He's obviously tried to start it outside the post and the keeper's got down well. Luke Ward to take the corner to the near post for Wood. Oh, he saved it. I thought it'd come back out. Oh, chances, guys. We're certainly not out of our depth here, are we? Right, with 20 left, I think we need to make a decision on some subs, a couple of yellow cards. I don't need people getting sent off. Ollie Moulders is struggling for fitness as well. I think I'm happy with Nathan Hayward to come on there. It may even be that we switch these around. Welch can do a job there, and I think Welter Silva's been having the joy, hasn't he? So let's bring Rashid on the left side to be a bit fresh. We're not having quite as much joy down there. That'll do for now. Keep it the same. I don't need to change the system. I don't think we've been on top. The players in the middle now will be a little bit more reserved in nature, just by who they are. Lost a little bit of passing flair with Moulders, but Welch and Hayward should add some steel into the middle. They're starting to knock it around well. Just need to stand firm here. Well done, Eswele. Ride the challenge though. Low onto Fund up, and now Kone blocked and Hayward away. Welch flicks on. He's offside, but we're on the break, ref. That's a bit irritating because I think there was a good break on there. Welch De Silva's struggling a little bit. I don't really want to bring him off. I don't think we've got a huge amount on the bench left, to be honest. It may well be. Here we go. This would be good. Eswele with the throw. Went for the long one, didn't make it, but he's retrieved it. Can Welch create? Here's Rashid. Back to Welch. Here's Late. Rides the challenge. Does really well. Has a go! Oh, what a goal! Oh, what a goal! Chris Late! I was just about to bring him off. And go to the other tactic and try and pack the midfield a little bit more. I may still do so. What a strike that is. He's ridden the challenge from Hunter, who's dived in, and I thought he's got to come out here, and he's absolutely smashed one into the top corner. Chrissy Late puts us in front. I didn't know what to do with myself. Right, okay. See, I don't like going defensive too early, but we are struggling here. We are struggling a little bit here. I think we can do this. Harvey Sparks can play pretty much anywhere, so I'm happy for him to be a winger on support. And I think, to be fair, I'm going to bring Rashid back as well. Leave him on attack. He can go a bit further forward. He's got the fresh legs. He's dangerous. And let's see how we get on there. Tag this back down to balanced. I don't want to go too deep, but Eswele again trying to launch. I have got long throw-ins to set long, but it'd be nice if they went anywhere near someone. Use your head. Don't dive in. Kone with the cross. Eswele away. well positioned. I think this might be what happens now. Cuts it out again, Azuele. I imagine that they're gonna knock it around now, looking for this goal, and it's down to us to try and stand firm. That's a poor ball though, and Hughes will keep that on and run the clock down, hopefully. Good ball up to Cowley, who always wins that flick on late. Can he get a second? Put this to bed, Chris. It's a block, and it's come back off him and gone for a goal kick. Okay. Yeah, I think this is where we need to look to just bring it in a little bit. It's not. I still want to counter when we win the ball. I don't like having that unless it's really, the last minute or two at the best. But I think we can certainly bring the tempo down. Hopefully we can hold out, guys. But I mean, what a performance after going a goal down so early. We've deserved it, but it's not over yet. That's a good clearance. Cowley holds it up, and now there's space in front of him here. Gateshead have committed men forward. He needs some help. Back to Rashid. Oh, what a save! He's took the shot on himself and drilled it, and it's a corner. Rashid's over to take it. We've got 3 minutes of added time left. Come on, boys. Whipped in well. Hughes arrived. Couldn't get the glance on it. Got too much on it, if anything. Time's ticking away, and I think, dare I say, oh, here we go. Come on, boys, hold it. Just win this header. Oh, they've won the header. Wood's got it clear, and Late has it. That must be it. That is it. That is it. Guys, what a win. What a victory. I said I thought we could do better. I'm not going to get carried away, but look at this. This steadily just grew into the game, and what a thunderbolt from Chris Late to win it. Cowley reasonably quiet, but he was involved in flick-ons and getting involved. So I don't think his rating displays that. I'm happy with how he played. He did miss a penalty against North Shields, but he'll be as important as ever. But this link-up again is just going to prove to be vital. I think even for this league I think it's right up there with the best we've got. But what a win! What a win! And we've started the season brilliant. We've won in the FA Cup. We've come back from 1-0 down away from home against the second favourites in the league, so one of the top teams. I can't ask for better than that. Wells to Silva looked strong. Rashid looked good when he came on. Callaghan wasn't really involved too much, but his pace and athleticism is definitely there to see. The midfield looks pretty solid, whoever I put in there. The defence looks good and works well together. Hughes really good at that left back as well. He gets forward well. All over the place. It's looked really good after the first couple of games. It's carried on from pre-season. So, I mean, that's a brilliant result. And it starts us off really well. Now, the only other thing I wanted to check, guys, I'm sure the FA Cup draw's been done, and I don't remember seeing who we've got, and I think it'll be the third qualifying round. So there's still a few to go. I think there's 4 qualifying rounds, isn't there? So we came in at the second. Who did we get? Kendall, who I'm assuming, is that where Kendall Mint Cake comes from? I guess it is. I'm assuming they're from much lower down. Yeah, a couple of divisions by the looks of it. So that's a pretty good draw for us on paper. We're at home as well, so that's looking pretty good. We'll play through. Obviously, I don't know if I'll come back for this. I don't think I will. I'd like to crack on a bit further. Probably be in November sometime, depending on how we're doing. If we win this, of course, there'll probably be another match for that, which might be the one we come back for. But we'll crack on, and and we'll see how we're getting on. Well, we've started the season different to how we started last season. It all started a bit boring last season, didn't it, with the matches and they got steadily better. I'm hoping that doesn't happen and we have this level of excitement all the time. 2 really good goals, fantastic win from behind. What more could you ask for? I really hope you enjoyed today, guys. If you did, give us the like, the notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. Please do leave comments, get in touch on the socials, on Twitter and Instagram. Links are all below. And check out Scott's save as well if you haven't already with Woodthorpe Park Rangers. It's a little bit different to this one, but if you like your non-league stuff, you'll lap it up because it's much lower. There's no wages involved, so it's putting together lots and lots of players and getting the best out of them. But as he's promoted, that's obviously gonna change. That'll be a really interesting dynamic to try and tackle for him. And yeah, any interaction is great. Any feedback, please do get in touch. Other than that, I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.